And I feel like Jesse Eisenberg was, he's trying too hard to be. Well, what's your thoughts on Jesse? Like, I felt like he was, Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor was so kind of like, kind of maniacal, but like without that character. And I feel like I think it was such a, it was such a downer, not a downer, but seeing him play Lex Luthor, there's no, it's not as intimidating. Do you
Yeah.
think he wasn't as intimidating?
But I guess in this movie, I guess
Or
Lex Luthor is like ahead of Superman like almost the entire movie.
yeah,
Like,
I was getting, but
yeah.
like no, Lex Luthor and the Superman, Batman,
Okay, I can't
Justice League.
even remember.
Yeah, he's all right, but like then you have Nicholas Hoult, who I was like, I was very, and then, my Lex Luthor is always going to be Michael Rosenbaum from
Uh,
Super Smallville, just because I think we grow with the
yeah,
character, and I think that's what makes him so. But he's also smart and kind of like, oh yeah, at a young age, we talked about it on our Smallville podcast, but um, when I saw this Lex Luthor, I think Nicholas Hoult brought something different to it, and I think there was, like he was smart, kind of like yeah, kind of malicious, but not, but clever, like
yeah,
and kind of, he wasn't like ha, he didn't twirl the mustache, but he was kind of like, oh, kind of the same Superman, I think like with a lot of Lex Luthor's character, he sort of sees Superman as a threat. If you saw Kevin Spacey's one, he says, she's like, Lex, you're not a god. He's like, gods are people that fly around in little capes and don't share their powers.
uh,
And I felt that same kind of thing with this Lex Luthor. He brought his own, and he made something that I'm like, I kind of like this Lex Luthor. I mean, he's not my favorite,
right.
but I think, maybe he's top three. What was your thoughts on him as Lex Luthor?
I liked him. I was sort of like he's sort of always ahead, pretty much the whole movie ahead of Superman.
Yeah, and I think he's very much, once we get to the climax where Lex Luthor and Superman meet, there is that sort of like, there's believability that he's like, kind of the Doctor Evil stroking the cat, kind of
Right.
like, I can, this is my plan, but there's something, he brought something to it where I'm just like, I can get behind it. He's not like going, I'm the evil villain.
Right.
But I think he did. I liked him as Lex Luthor. I think I like the fact that he's got LexCorp.
Right.
Like kind of the biggest building, and kind of. I like the fact that he. I think what I liked about um, Nicholas Holt's version is how he's in probably the most egocentric Lex Luthor. Like,
Yeah.
but with with character.
Yeah.
Not like kind of jumping around like the way Jesse Eisenberg did it, but he's calm and cool. Not calm, but he has a style to him that,
Right.
and a personality that works.
Yeah.
For Lex.